according to the situation of the light that is behind the real object or above the real object, which is not important anyhow, because the shadow is only a shadow. That's why it is ephemeral. That's why it is illusory. And it should be so. So there's nothing big deal about the world, about our life, or about our body, whether it stays here or it disappears one day at death. Because we could create plenty more. And the shadow may be short today, long tomorrow, but our body still remains the same, and that is important. So we must know our real self and not chasing after our shadow and wanting to change our shadow, because it's useless. The shadow will always change, and will always short-lived. In the daytime, in the morning it's very long when you stand facing the sun or back in the sun. In the noontime it became very short, almost unidentical on the ground, almost clinging to the shape of the body. In the afternoon it's again long, again it's very long, position of the sun. So why would we worry whether the shadows become like this or like that or the others? Because we know we are not the shadow. Therefore, after enlightenment, we know the real world. We walk through that door of darkness, separate between darkness and light, and then we know happiness. And then we're very stable. That's why most of our disciples are very happy. Not because they gain more money. They may do, yes. It could happen. Yeah. Or not because they have better position, but that happen also, yes. Because after we know the kingdom of God, all the things shall be added unto you anyhow, as bonus. Because we have wisdom, we have illumination, which shine on all things in a clearer, and we see things in a better perspective. Therefore things become just better automatically. There's no magical power, nothing mythical about it. It's just like a person, he was laying ill all the time, so he was unable to fix his car or to do something in the house. But once he's strong again, yeah, he's clear in the head and he can eat, he can drink, then of course he can tackle many things easily. So our soul, our mental is being ill without enlightenment, without the proper food to care and nourish it. So after we have enlightenment, we had plenty strength, and then everything we can do automatically, using the greatest wisdom instead of using only the little limited computer brain. Therefore, of course, everything will be better. Our life will become brighter, happier, and everything we do will be smoother. Not talking about that we have the transformation body of the Master who always help us and sometimes tell us what to do. If we are not yet reached the higher state of realization and not in possession of our whole wisdom. So we cannot be anything but happy. We can't escape from happiness. And that's the reason why our disciples, our fellow practitioners are shining. Doesn't matter in which walk of life and in which position they are. Deep down within them, they have this happiness. They will be the best citizen of the world. We will miss their company. Good, thank you. So you are awake after all, huh? I thought I was talking to shadows. So whether we want to go to heaven or we just want to be a good citizen of the world, enlightenment is a must, because it is our birthright, our possession. And if we deny that right, it is very pitiful for us. Why should we not make use of our treasure when we have it? And instead of going out begging for a morsel or two of food on the street, if we have the treasure, great treasure, limitless, why don't we make use of it? And it is so easy. It's not that we have to go on begging for something or do something about it. Just sit at home. And then we have everything. Therefore, we invite you to know yourselves. We invite you to return to your own greatness in order to bless yourself, bless the world, bless the hell people, and ascend to a higher level of world, higher level of consciousness when we finish our duty on earth. That we can do easily through a definite method. And thousands, millions, trillions of people have already tried and have succeeded. So you may also try. Even children can do it. No one would be denied of this privilege. I'm always there for your convenience and for anything you need at all. Thank you for your loving attention. And now you may ask questions.
Will there be world peace?
The world is already in peace. We are not at peace.
Next question. Dear Master, when we have a few problems, how do we know which one is fixed karma and which one is master testing? Which one is priority? Second question. Lao Tzu's...
One at a time, please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Which one is karma and which one is testing, right? Actually, there's no testing for us. We test ourselves. Just like when we have some hardship, we say, oh, God has tested me. This is not true. It is because of our karma, because of our tendency toward negative way that we experience hardship. So the only way is that to turn back to the positive, and then we experience different way. We can do it by self-discipline or by prayer, and then we turn everything into better way. Whether it's karma or God testing, it will be better.
Next question. Lao Tzu said, the more you know, the less you understand. Understanding comes from meditation. Do we need to continue reading scripture to collect more knowledge?
You can if you want to, but the true knowledge is from within, and it's not from books. But books can inspire us to a nobler idea, to a better way to follow. But if we stop at the book level, then we are only attaining the worldly knowledge and the intellectual level, and we couldn't pass through into the non-knowing knowledge. Just like Lao Tzu say, the more you know, the less you understand. You know, what he meant is, what we know in this world, we do not truly understand the real meaning, and we do not understand the truth.
When you meditate, can you sit for the first 5 minutes to meditate without having no distraction? Is this true? And if so, how can you prove it?
You can not only sit 5 minutes without distraction, but you can sit for 5 hours, sometimes 5 days, 5 months even, if you have the chance to learn how to do it. And if you have nothing else to do during this time, you can enter into samadhi and forget every other things. That is possible. I don't need to prove it. Many of the people from ancient times up to now have done these things, and my disciple can do them. There's no big deal about sitting 5 minutes. Probably you never sit before. That's why you do not know such things are possible. But we can show you. Of course, it is different between different people, but it is 5 minutes is nothing.
The key to a happy life, what does it really mean to you? I thought that the only key to a happy life is depend upon yourself and how you live your life the way you want it. Is this necessarily true?
It's not the way we live, it's not that we live our life the way we want it, which brings happiness. This is most often bring disasters. If we live our life the correct way, yes, then we are free. And then, of course, we will be happy. Not what we want, okay? In everything, there is some just judgment and some kind of definite way. For example, we say, I have a car, I can drive anywhere I want. That will bring problems. But if we drive within the proper road and with the proper attention, then of course we'll be in our destination very fast. If we run all over places, we'll bring trouble to ourselves, even though we call that freedom. Freedom without discipline will bring disaster. And the way many of us lead our life brings misery, as you see all around you. Therefore, there is a definite way to lead our lives in order to have true and lasting happiness. That is the life of a gentleman. That is the life of the sage, who does things according to the universal harmony and not according to the dictation of the restless mind.
Why are some people in hell? Is it from their thoughts, actions? How can we help them and ourselves?
People go to hell because they are sick. They are not healthy in their thought, deeds, and action. They have done something below human dignity and standard because they do not understand better. Therefore, they are sick mentally. Therefore, they have to be treated in that special ward for intensive treatment. That's called hell. Is suffering. Just like when we have a very grave illness, we have to be admitted to the hospital, and the doctors, for curing us, give us a lot of medicine, injection, sometimes cut our body into pieces in order to cure us. But that causes suffering. And in order to help them, first you must help yourself, be enlightened. And then you can walk to hell and rescue them. Otherwise, it's very difficult to reason with them. It's already difficult enough to reason to the people in the world who is not so much in a very dark state of understanding. Yes, please.
Next question. When will I consciously enter samadhi?
When? When you enter, then you will enter. And you will know it. When you're very deep within yourself, emerging within your own great virtues and wisdom, at that time, we are free from the body, and we could sit there not moving for many hours on end, or many days even. It depends on how deep we are within. That is when we are consciously enter samadhi state.
Next question. I've eaten meat most of my life, but I've now recently stopped for good. I will no longer eat any meat, poultry, eggs, or dairy products. My question is, how can I rid myself of the toxins and guilt and resentment that I feel from my past actions?
Just forgive yourself. No problem. Whatever we have done in the past is already past. What now and the future is important. Just like when a child, he was very young, he didn't know what's what. He walked all over beautiful clothes, or he put everything dirty in his mouth. But now he grows up, he doesn't do it anymore. And nobody would scold him or blame him for what he has done as a child. Now, in our different stages of development in consciousness, maybe we have done something that we should not have done, but we were only students. We were learning all the time. And if we know it is improper and we stop it, that is already excellent. You should congratulate yourself, you should be proud of yourself and love yourself more for being able to understand this. Instead of feeling guilty and blaming yourself is unnecessary.
Next question. As kids go through today's educational systems, how can parents guide them in learning and growing toward the Kuan Yin method? How can children get less pollutions from modern world?
You have to set an example. First, be a shining example, then the children will follow. No need to force them. One example is better than 20 years of talk.
Next question. Death is supposed to be the happiest moment. How can that be? When a person dies, you said that your spirit would come and make the individual forget of their loved one so that they would leave this world. Isn't that a cruel thing to do? How do you go about doing this thing?
Is it? Is it a very cruel thing to do? Should I make them remember their loved one and linger in the world and cry together all year round? Because they couldn't do anything about it anymore? Is that better? Is that better? Yes or no? Okay, thank you.
Next question. Is being ambitious wrong or bad?
Being what? Ambitious. No, it's not bad, it's not wrong. It's wrong to be wishing unsuccessful life, because God has placed us here to do something. So whatever we are gifted with, or whatever business we undertake, we must do it wholeheartedly until we succeed. Of course, if we do not succeed, then we try again. Yes, but do not think that whatever we do, if we are ambitious, this is no good. We have to be ambitious, yes? Otherwise the world will go under if nobody is ambitious and, attentive to his enterprise.
Is there any place here, Los Angeles, where to go in order to follow the path of enlightenment?
Why you ask me? You are the one who stays here. I am a foreigner. If you want to join us, then of course we have a place here in Los Angeles, and after Initiation, you could go there for more information or meditating together. But if you would like to ask for other places in town, then please look into the telephone book. All right?
Next question. Is magic an acceptable way for gaining enlightenment?
It's not a good tool. It's not a good tool. Because it will bind us to the ego pleasure. And that we can do this, that we can move the object, that we can, make things disappear. All that affords us a very, kind of mental pleasure, which binds us to the mental level of consciousness and couldn't go higher. Therefore, magic is not regarded as a very good way to show off our enlightenment or through which to attain enlightenment, because we will stop at a rather lower level. The Buddha also discouraged the use of magic. That's why he has often told his disciple not to use magical power. But one of his disciples, being too proud of his achievement in magical field, often make use of them, and so ended in a very tragic death. Jesus also made a few miracles or two when he was forced to do it, but he was very reluctant. Therefore, he didn't go around and make all the dead come back to life again, or rise or cure all the sick, or heal all the blind. You see, he only did occasionally when it was absolutely necessary, without feeling proud or accrediting the power to himself. Therefore, he said, "Oh, your faith has healed you," or it's the Father in me that does, etc. And he never go around and do it all the time just to show off. It is very clear that enlightened people always adhere to the rule of the universe and respect the law of nature without interfering too much for their own ego's sake.
Dear Master, thank you for enlightening me that this world is just an illusion and all human accomplishment, material richness are meaningless. My question is, if this is the case, does this means that we need not worry about the beautifulness of this land by not abusing the environment, and we need not waste our mind to search for solutions to solve the social illness in order to make this a more peaceful world?
No. Enlightenment will help us to know how to do it better, only to do it better. And we do it without much effort, and we had better results. In our meditation centers around the world, things are kept tidy, beautiful. We plant the trees, and we don't allow pollution and litters around our center. We keep our body, spirit and mind clean. And I love spotless cleanliness. Every disciple knows this. So also we plant trees and we plant grasses and we do whatever possible to beautify our world. Also, I told the disciple they can beautify their body also to make them look more, having a little bit more, happy face. And if they have beautiful clothes, they can wear them. I didn't tell them to go in rags or to eat grass instead of go to work. It is not true. We are very practical, but in a very enlightened way. Therefore, we do things better. We are more beautiful, and we enjoy the world, but we are not attached to the world. We do things better than before, okay?
I would like to know more how to live a happy life, and I have a peace of mind. I am very bored of this life, and not happy. No matter what I do, I need spiritual help to be happy and lead a happy life. Thank you, Joe Risha.
Yes, go and get initiation.
How many hours per day should I meditate in order to get out of this earth in this lifetime?
It doesn't depend on how many hours we meditate actually, because some people just sit 5 minutes and then they are out of the body for a short time and then come back again to work, gathering better information from a real world in order to serve this world, even though it's ephemeral. But because we are here for some purpose, therefore we continue to serve the world. But in a wise way, after we know what to do, after we enter the true world and know how to correct the shadow to suit our taste. If we want to have true happiness, I already told you, happiness can only come when we know the true world is always in a happy state. And if we are chasing happiness in this world, sometimes we have them, sometimes we don't. And most often, we don't. And if we do have happiness, it brings sorrow afterward, or it is very short-lived.
Is the Kuan Yin method the only way to achieve happiness and enlightenment?
You could say it's the last way, the last steps of any way at all. It's just like, doesn't matter what kind of food we cook and how much vegetable we chop them together, the last thing is to eat it. So Kuan Yin method is a prepared meal for your spirit. Therefore, of course, it's the best.
If our true home is with the Lord, why and what motivated our souls to come into the creation?
Oh, because we wander around. Just like my disciple this morning. He went to hell, just have a look. He didn't have to. He wanted to. We wanted to experience different things. And why not? Why not? Huh? It's fine. But just remember to go home afterward. That's all.
Master, I like to devote my full time toward achieving Buddhahood like you did, such that I can serve humanity more efficiently like you do. Please suggest, help me as to what can I do to accelerate the process.
First, we have to get enlightenment, and then later we continue to get more enlightened. And then, if God's willing that we should serve the world, and in which way, that will be determined later. It's too early to talk about securing the thieves, guarding the thieves before we have any possession.
For years, many religions, e.g. Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism, have existed. On the contrary, your group has only come to existence recently. What principles in your meditation group preclude the other religions as acceptable?
So, do we have to be 10,000 years old in order to prove it to you that it is effective? We have ships, we have cars which existed before I was born. But are these better than today's airplane? Huh? You're talking nonsense. Besides, we are not against any religion. We just bring forth to you the essence of all religions to make you know that all religions are one, and pointing to the same truth. And if you don't know that truth, no religion will help